Peace, peace. I am back, and this is take 3. And finally, I got it proper. It's funny how a person can be relaxed and easygoing about a lot of things, and then when it comes to artistic expression, very much perfectionist. So I'm going to give it a moment or two, wait for everyone hopefully to catch up. Hopefully everyone will eventually come into the chat room. And let me see if I can bring up the video. About 20 minutes ago, my alarm clock said, "Ding dong, it's time for bed if you want to get 8 hours of sleep." And I was like, no way, I just found some of my crystals that I have been looking for like ever. So let me come back in to see if anyone is here. Okay, doesn't look like anyone's in a live chat yet, but I'm sure people will eventually come in. So what we have here are my crystals. There we go. Recovering Soul, it's good to see you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we are horizontal. You know, I'm a rookie. I'm still trying to figure this thing out. And just when I think I have a good grasp of it, just like life, you know, something comes along to throw me a curveball and said, "Hey, not yet, Missy." Welcome, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. This is actually my live stream take 3 because I tried 2 other times, and I wanted to make sure that the video was there we go. So these are some crystals I wanted to share with you. Okay, so hopefully some others will come into the chat room. So I have a lot of passions, if you haven't figured it out by now. There's a lot of things in this beautiful life that I love, outside of learning and outside of my children. I love feet. Feet are our foundation, which is what urged me to become a foot reflexologist, a professional certified foot reflexologist. And another thing I love is crystals. And it's funny because when I was younger, I found a crystal geode. I didn't know what it was at the time. I had no idea. But it was shaped, literally shaped like a foot with part of the ankle on it. Yes, that is turquoise. And I remember cracking it open and saw all these little crystals in it. And I was like, oh, but these aren't real diamonds. So I put it back in my yard. Little did I know at that age that, you know, Mother Nature was giving me a gift and what I would do to have those crystals back, that geode. But, you know, you live and you learn. It was a lesson. So anyway, these crystals right here that you're looking at, this is yellow jasper. Hello, Ocean Love. This is yellow jasper right here. And this is turquoise from Arizona. Almost looks like it has a person's head on it. A big giant. There's the cranium, the nose, the chin. This is turquoise from Arizona. And this is lapis lazuli. So, and these are quartz crystal points. And as you can see, there are 4 of them to represent the 4 directions, the 4 elements, 4 directions. And what's interesting, I didn't have these crystals with me when I did Jeff's show a month or 2 ago, the show that I did on crystals, of course, because I moved and I had things packed up. Tonight I was looking for something else, and I found my little shaman's pouch. And I looked inside, and I was like, oh, well, here are my crystals. I actually keep them in the pouch, and I keep them in a little zipper bag, a little zipper bagging. It's quilted and lined. So first, let me tell you, there's a story behind these crystals. And this was back in 2007 when I was first beginning my journey in Reiki healing. And it was around the time, what it would seem like almost every 7 or 8 years, I would spontaneously rededicate myself to the divine feminine, as a priestess to the divine feminine. And around the last time I did it prior to 2007, I did it in 2001. And that was sort of like my first time. 2001 was my first time. And then in 2007, and of course I did it a year ago. So shortly thereafter, I had a dream. And in the dream, I was walking, and I was supposed to meet my cousin for lunch. And it turned out that my cousin that I was meeting, it was like another version of myself. But prior to that, in my dream, I was walking in the woods, and I came across like a broken necklace of beads. And in the dirt, there were turquoise beads, lapis beads, and I had never seen jasper stone. I was not familiar with jasper stone, but there was yellow jasper in the dream. And even within the dream, I knew that the stone was yellow jasper. So I was prompted in my dream to pick up these beads and put them in my pocket. So after I had the dream, I looked up the meanings of the various stones. So if you don't mind, I'd like to read to you some of the meanings of these stones. And I'm reading from the book Love is in the Earth, A Kaleidoscope of Crystals, the updated version. Not sure how updated this book is now because I've had it I even still have the receipt somewhere in the book. I just saw the receipt in the book a minute or 2 ago. It's somewhere. Yeah, let's see. And here you go. To prove that I was not fibbing, I bought this book in 2007, shortly after I had that dream. 2007. And I think around that time, that's when, yep, Love is in the Earth right there. 1895, 2007, so 10 years ago, on your daughter's birthday. Yeah, that was the only book I bought that day. I used to love Borders Bookstore. I used to take my kids there. It was like a cheap date. I would tell them, okay, you got $3 to spend at the stand, and then they would go get a manga book and sit and read. Okay, so I collected all of these stones because I felt that spirit was, encouraging me to carry them. And I think it was probably as I was beginning my journey as a quote-unquote healer, or a healing witness, I like to call it, because healers, we don't heal anyone. We allow the space, and we're a witness. We allow the space, hold the space for healing to take place. So the first one is jasper. Now, jasper comes in all different types. There's lizard jasper, there's picture jasper, there's orbicular jasper, bat cave jasper. But anyway, this is an elemental, and it corresponds to the astrological sign of Leo. And this mineral is known as the supreme nurturer. It acts as a reminder that one is not here on this physical plane just for oneself, but is also here to bring joy and substance to others, assisting others to release the bonds of constraint. It's been a while since I've read this. This is pretty cool. Like I said, these three stones were directed to me to collect in a dream. It is conducive to awareness and to allowing one to celebrate the situations of isolation. Wow. It's like I'm reading this all over again for the first time. Wayne Steiger talks about the Hermit card represents him. Mine is the Fool card, but I've noticed as I've gotten older, it's really also I've kind of become like a hermit. Let's see. It helps one to realize that one is always remembered by others who can usually be called upon to provide insight to examples of those who send loving energy towards one's physical manifestation. Jasper was often worn by shaman to provide protection. It holds an aspect of solar energy and a connection to the solar plexus chakra, which also helps shaman in their magical practices. And if I remember correctly, I think the solar plexus is I think it's the seat of identity. I think there's one before that, which is the seat of creation. Oh, got the wrong stone. Okay. So anyway, yes, hello, Anna. Okay, and where was I? It is considered a sacred stone during the performance of and adherence to the old ways of the Native American Indians. The jasper, which contains the yellow color, was used to assist and protect during times of travel, spiritual or physical, such as journeying, and which contains the red color was thought to induce health and rebirth. Okay, let's see. It is a stone which accepts intense responsibility in the realm of protection. It protects against negativity and helps one to be grounded to the stabilizing energies of the earth. That is jasper. I'm speaking in sort of hushed tones, but hopefully everyone can hear me. If you're having trouble hearing me, please let me know. Let's see. Jasper can be used to align the energy of the chakras and to integrate the attributes of the chakras such that astral journeys can be affected. So jasper aids in astral journeys. It balances the yin-yang energy and balances the physical, emotional, and intellectual bodies with the etheric energies. It stabilizes the aura, providing for a cleansing effect to smooth dysfunctional energies and to eliminate negativity. It helps one to unite the energy field of the physical with the ethereal in order to balance the form and to direct one toward the goal. The ancients revered jasper as a sacred, protective, and as a facilitator of safe astral channels. So jasper can be placed over the heart and the navel prior to astral travel. It has been used during the venture of dowsing. Jasper has been both worn and used by priests and kings, and I add to that priestesses and queens. And it is said to have been one of the stones on the breastplate of the high priest. Jasper is a sustaining stone, a stone representing the elemental man. It can be quite helpful in times of extended hospitalization and when one's energy is low. Or on a long fast, it can help to keep energies high. So Jasper helps in balancing the mineral content and the regulation of the supplies of iron, sulfur, zinc, and manganese within the body. Sorry, and it vibrates to the number 6. So let's see. The next stone I have here is lapis lazuli. This is usually found in Afghanistan. And this corresponds to the astrological sign of Scorpio and Taurus. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Sorry. Erase that part. Let's backtrack. Lapis lazuli corresponds to the astrological sign of Sagittarius. So our good friend Heidi Vandenberg would love this stone. I love this stone. Oh, I have a beautiful piece of lapis I want to show you. I'll be right back. Okay, this right here, I love this piece. I often hold this when meditating. Okay. All right. So that's the lapis. And let me know, is this video coming in okay and my voice is sounding normal? I don't know if the video is speeding up or what's going on. So if the video's okay, just put everything's okay in the chat room. I'd appreciate it. All right, so let's see. Okay, so I mentioned that lapis. All right, thank you. Thank you, Anna. So lapis is a Sagittarius stone. And it is a stone said to have existed since before, quote-unquote, time was born, assisting one in gaining admission to the domain of the unknown mysteries of the sacred texts and the esoteric ideas, and enhancing the wisdom to understand the information. It further allows one to gain access and to explore the esoteric planetary knowledge. Let's see. The Afghanistan lapis, which is what both of these are, is likened to the night sky but decked with stars, and that is, they're referring to the pyrite that is in there. I don't know if you can, that white is calcium, and then there are little flecks of pyrite. You can see the pyrite right there on the side a little bit. Okay. It promotes the connection between the physical plane and the celestial kingdom. It represents the forces of initiation excuse me, into wisdom and the mystical realm. Lapis provides for activation. Let's see, where was that? I lost my space for a second. Represents the forces of, let's see, provides for activation and energizing of the throat. Definitely need that right now. My throat's a little scratchy. The crystalline structure further clears these chakras and provides for unification of all the chakras for the purpose of maintaining the perfection within the person. Lapis lazuli is a stone of total awareness, helping to expand awareness and intellectual capacity, allowing for conscious attunement to the intuitive and psychic aspects of one's nature. It also helps one to remain objective about the subjective, providing for stimulus to the process of reasoning and reinforcing the acceptance of subsequent knowledge. It enables one to obtain relief from that which has been pressed into the shallow recesses of the mind, providing objectivity, clarity, and mental endurance during release of emotional bondage. It helps for diminishment of the internal smoldering fires which lead to disease. It stimulates the communicative facets of the self, providing for clarity and responsiveness during the release of information. Lapis can be placed over the third eye. Let's see. It promotes the insight to a structured plan which can help one to evolve upward toward the light of the total unification of all that is. It assists in providing a connection with the dream forces which are working to both guide and counsel one during altered states. Reading the information of these stones once again, even after 10 years from when I first got it, it's like reaffirming, my journey. So, I encourage everyone, when you have dreams, pay attention, especially when they're encouraging you to pick something up, see what the symbolism is. And for those who arrived a little bit later, I mentioned that 10 years ago, 2007, I had a dream, and in the dream, I was walking in the woods, walking along a path to go meet my cousin at lunch, which later, by the time I made it to the lunch, my cousin was actually an identical version of myself. And I kind of took note of it in the dream, but I went ahead and sat down with the cousin to speak with her. And as I was walking to the lunch or the brunch, there were turquoise beads, lapis beads, and jasper beads laying on the ground. And I felt inwardly prompted to pick up the beads and put them in my pocket. So anyway, what else can we find? And then later I went to the store and purchased this book, and I actually still have the receipt. That was April 14th, 2007. Lapis, we're on lapis, right? Lapis stimulates the emotional, mental, physical purity and clarity, supporting one's courage and activities culminating in the advancement towards universal wisdom. It can assist one in the organization of one's life and in the routine day-to-day activities which one is involved. Oh, I'm so glad I found these. These have been packed up and kind of hidden for the last 6 months, and I definitely need some help with organization. It's also said to have been on the breastplate of the high priest. King Solomon was the greatest stone wearer of all. Wow, I didn't know that. It helps to overcome depression and enhances the state of serenity and self-acceptance. It is said to bring cheer to the user and to bring success in relationships. And lapis vibrates to the stone number 3. And lapis is a stone for Sagittarius, and jasper was a stone for Leos. So, let's see. And then the next stone here, everybody is more than likely familiar with, good old-fashioned turquoise. And this is turquoise from the Southwest. What was the name of the turquoise and gold crystals? You mean the lapis? Oh, the turquoise and gold. Is that crystal? No, it's not chrysalis. I think I might know what you're talking about. I'm not sure. Okay. It looks like my screen. Okay, so let me not get distracted and get on over to the page for turquoise. So, turquoise, my beloved turquoise, and this is from the Southwest. This was actually given to me by the person who kept insisting that I become a Reiki practitioner, and that is copper in there. Okay. Turquoise corresponds to the astrological signs of Sagittarius, Pisces, and Scorpio. Turquoise is another gift from the earth, bringing the blue of Father Sky to the earth and melding together the energies of the heaven with the consciousness of the mother. I love those so much. It strengthens and aligns all chakras, meridians, and subtle bodies. It actually elevates all chakras and can facilitate attunement between the physical level and the higher planes of existence. Let's see, make sure I have some light in there. It can bring any and all energies to a higher level. It does, however, primarily stimulate the throat, heart, and navel, bringing communication skills to emotional issues, to creativity, and to intuition, while allowing for the application of love in all areas. It is excellent for spiritual attunement, for healing, cleansing of both the energy centers and the physical body, and for providing protection. So this is another stone of protection. You got a stone of journeying. This is another shamanic stone for shamans or healers. It is valuable for, let's see, it is valuable for grounding and can help prevent one from losing touch with the conscious mind during deep meditation. This facilitates a no-mind meditative state, but provides the unconscious mind with a knowing of the protective mechanism which has been initiated. It can be used for attunement between those of the physical as well as between one and the spiritual world. It is valuable to provide strength and protection during vision quest and astral travel. So it seems that my inner voice gave me this handful of stones to protect, in healing work, which is basically shamanic work, healing work, Reiki, as well as astral travel. And I decided to get 3 of each stone because of the number 9, which is a number of truth. Okay. Turquoise is a healer of the spirit, providing for smooth, soothing energy and bringing peace to the mind. It's also a very protective stone. It is of high spirituality and can bring both valor and protection on the spiritual level and from the etheric plane. Let's see. It has been esteemed by the Tibetan shaman as holding both a spiritual and protective property. It has been used in shamanic ceremonies and in the sacred valley of Shambhala. It has also been considered by Native American Indians to be both a protective stone and a bestower of goodness. It vibrates to the number 1. Let's see. It can be used to balance the male and female aspects of one character. So that's the masculine and feminine energy can balance it, bringing forth the qualities of mental clarity, spiritual clarity, and providing for the balancing of energies. It also provides for a bit of increase in one's psychic powers and can help one to develop one's natural powers. It assists in communications, both written and oral, and it helps one to be more direct and correct. It acts to induce wisdom and understanding and to enhance trust, kindness, and the recognition of beauty. It is said to promote spontaneity in issues of romance and stimulate the initiation of romantic love. And in the end, turquoise is a master healer, emanating a purifying energy, which tends to dissipate negativity. It is an excellent anti-negativity stone where the negativity is not within the self. It can be used for emotional, mental, and physical problems. Yep, so that is turquoise. The turquoise crystals provide a doubling effect of the properties and produces a total polarization of the physical with the subtle bodies. As I mentioned before, it vibrates with the number 1. So, and I want to introduce you, I had alluded to this crystal when I was on Jeff's channel, when I did my video on crystal. I don't know if you can see this, but so you see, like, this crystal is broken off, right? It is smoothed over, but it's broken off. This crystal broke off, but it's what you call a self-healing crystal. I don't know if you can see, but right at the tippy top there, if I hold it maybe there, you can see there are little itty bitty baby crystals on here that regrew. So that basically means that this is a very ancient piece that broke off a very, very ancient while ago. And so this is a very healing crystal, and it has a lot of energy. And I can attest to the fact that it has a lot of energy, because when I first got it, I was like, oh, this is so beautiful. I wrapped it and I wore it on a necklace. And that night that I wore it, I was awake all night, energized, could not sleep. And I don't know if I slept with it on again the next night. I may have. And then eventually I looked down and I'm like, I should not be sleeping with this on. So I took it off and I was finally able to get sleep. And so, can you see the little facets in there? Yeah. Wow, are they rare, or can you find them with a group of crystals? You know, Sassy Susie, I have been looking for self-healed crystals. I mean, they're not as common, not these points. You know, they're something like this. They're not super common, but I'm sure you can find them. It just takes time. And believe it or not, I purchased this on eBay many years ago. I don't necessarily recommend purchasing crystals that way, but if you're able to really be in tune, that energy just leaps out at you. So now to the crystal grid part. I really enjoy creating crystal grids, and I put these groups of crystals together. These went in this pouch, and the clear crystal ones, the quartz, went into this pouch, and I carry them in this little bag. And I use these points, they can represent the 4 corners, the 4 elements. You can turn them however you wish. And as you're creating your crystal mandala, your crystal grid, have your intention. And one thing you always want to do whenever you receive crystals or buy crystals yourself, you want to cleanse them. You can cleanse them either using water, depends on what kind, because selenite you don't want to put in water because it could dissolve. You can either put in water, you could either dig a hole in the earth and bury them, you can set them out at the full moon, which is also very cleansing or energizing, new moon or full moon. I wouldn't recommend putting crystals in the sun because some crystals can fade from the UV rays of the sun. You can also, use sage or frankincense and myrrh. So once you have in mind the reason for your meditation, you gather your stones up, the ones that you're going to use for meditation. You're honoring the 4 directions, bringing in the 4 directions. And as you are meditating, you can begin to lie your crystals on the grid in the form that best suits you. And of course, as you're doing it, you are putting them in a way that's very slow and meditative. And this is what we're doing here. Just setting the crystals up. In a way that is very suiting, and you can leave your crystal grid up for a couple of days, however long that you wish. You can take a picture of it, carry that picture with you, and you can send energy to it. You don't have to be a Reiki practitioner in order to send in energy. We all have that capability in us. I like to send with my left hand. And just sitting with your crystal grid, meditating with it visually, or even closing your eyes and just sitting with it. You can use this time to create your visualizations, whatever your mantra is. I like the phrase, I am divine, I am sovereign, I am free. I am divine, I am sovereign, I am free. You can also, if you're into using Buddhist mantras, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Whatever mantra allows you to open your heart, to check in with your inner wisdom. To me, those are the mantras that work best. There's plenty of people that pay $1,800 for some guru to give them a mantra. I say, do your research on mantra and meditate and pick your own mantra for free. The price is your dedication and your commitment, and remembering that you are divine, you are sovereign, you are free. And of course, these are tools. They're training wheels. Do you absolutely have to make a crystal grid? No. But for those of us who enjoy ritual, who enjoy engaging our physicality, our physical bodies, we enjoy ritual, and it helps in a tactile way to bring, that inner wisdom to the surface. And when you're doing whatever it is that you're doing, if you can do it in a contemplative way, taking your time and relaxing into it. I'm going to check the chat room to see if anyone has any questions or has said anything to me, which I know you're talking to each other. Let's see. Yes, this is considered ritual. You know, we all need training wheels to a certain extent. There is nothing wrong with training wheels. Let me see what else I can read. Awesome. Sarah says she has one grid on her nightstand and another on her desk. Yes, crystals are our friends. I definitely agree. And let me scroll up in the chat room. Let's see. Let me see if I can pop the chat out so I can see it a little better. And does anyone have any questions I can attempt to answer? Sassy Susie says she had a shaman make a crystal grid for her. She made it with healing in mind and intent, that is for me. Then she took a picture and sent it to me. So she suggests I replicate it much as possible. And Sassy Susie, I recommend that, you know, you set the intention that spirit directs you to locating crystals that are beneficial for you, whatever they may be. And I also recommend that you create your own crystal grids, because no one can do it better than you. And you know, they're like a beautiful, colorful kaleidoscope. You know, this could be a crystal grid to meditate on for, you know, the next day or the next week or even a month. I will take a picture of this grid and I'll post it on my Facebook page, which you have to look up the link, Tamu and Ngina Holistic Artist. That's my actual page where you can like and follow. I will put this grid on there, but first and foremost, or afterwards, I encourage you to create your own grid, as well as, you know, crystals don't have to be all colorful and shiny. You know, you can collect beautiful rocks and make a grid and put whatever intention into it that you wish to manifest in your life. And let's see. Let me go down and see what else is there. How do you feel the energy, Recovering Soul asks, how do you feel the energy of the crystals so you know where to place them? You know, I do like to use clear quartz points for the corners or the directions or the outer. And basically, as I'm just meditating and have intent, I just follow my intuition. I just begin organizing them, you know? It's sort of like, remember when you were a little kid and you enjoyed coloring? You picked up the color that spoke to you first, and that's the one you use. And that's why the horse would be purple or orange. And it wasn't until the adults around us said, oh, that horse can't be purple. It needs to be brown, black, or white, maybe gray. I say to heck with all of that. Follow your heart. There are no right or wrong answers. Okay, let me scroll down a little bit more. Yes, more about the grids. What are they for? Sassy Susie, the grids are for expanding energy, for directing energy. So, you know, other than peace and just clearing, I didn't really charge this grid with anything. So basically, with these particular stones, of course, you know, for astral travel, for dream, for building up intuition, for doing, you know, your healing work, your shamanistic journeying. So that can be one of the intentions here. But whatever you decide, when you collect your crystals and whatever you decide to make your crystal grid for, that is what it's for. Yes, you Recovering Soul said there was some kid genius that said that crystals talked to him about where they wanted to be put. Yes, however that talks to you. So I would just recommend, you collect your crystals and you work with them. And the more you work with them, you develop a relationship with them, and they speak to you. They do. And let's see. Okay. All right. So, oh, wow. Yes, the medicine wheel is a type of grid, Sassy Susie. Yep, definitely. And after you complete your medicine wheel, the 4 different colors, I think it's black, white, red, and yellow, you can take a quartz crystal and put in each corner of the grid. And you can also, if you want, get a particular colored stone, like a yellow jasper for the yellow, a red agate. What stone am I thinking of? Like a red agate for the red, a black onyx or a black obsidian for the black, of course. And for the white, I would recommend a calcite crystal. So yeah, so that is it. But the thing is, those are just recommendations. What works for me may not work for you. So that's why I invite you and everyone listening here and listening after, do not be afraid to trust yourself. Just go into it. And sometimes when you approach the crystals, and even when you don't, when you're just like looking at them, you can feel energy emanating from them. Whether it's warm and tingling, sometimes it could be flat and blocked. But when the crystal is calling your name, you're gonna know it. It's gonna be like, "Hey, Sassy, come over here. Come take me home." And you'll be like, "Oh my God, that is so beautiful. Oh wow, this feels good." Okay. I'm sure you have felt the heat, tinglings. Anyway, I did not want this video to drag on forever, but I appreciate all of you being here. And yeah, that is why kids collect rocks. And guess what, Sassy Susie? I still collect rocks. Yes, I do. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me this evening. Please remember to like this video as well as share this video. Please make sure to subscribe, and I would appreciate it if you could share this video on either your media pages or in Messenger to your friends. I'm hoping to grow the channel to share with other people. And yeah, well, thank you. I think now I am officially sleepy enough. I just wanted to share this with you because I literally just found these crystals when I was looking for something else. And I went to my back room where I still have boxes packed. And I found the pouch. And I was like, oh, yay! I was so happy. So happy. Thank you. You all inspire me as well. So I bid you adieu. Peace. And great bliss. I thank you very much.